Okay, now we're going to find the development of our secondary pipe. And to start off our development, we check the size of each of the sides of our secondary pipe, which in my case is 44 millimeters for each side. And we will then go and draw a baseline, which I'll do at the bottom of my drawing. And that baseline is going to be 44 millimeters times by the number of sides. And I've got 4 sides in my secondary pipe. So I'm going to draw a baseline at the bottom of my page here, which is going to have to be a total of 44 multiplied by 4. I'm going to start by just drawing a construction line for that. The bottom of my page, and then I go and measure on that construction line 44 millimeters 4 times because of the 4 sides. I'm going to measure off there, that's my starting point, and then I'll measure 44 millimeters and mark them off for each of the sides of my secondary pipe. And then I can go and I can draw that baseline in dark. And then I'm also going to go and project each of those points where I marked off 44 millimeters for each of the sides, and I'm going to project them up as construction lines. And then I'm going to go and label each of those points according to my auxiliary view from my secondary pipe. And I'll start here with A, and that B, C, D, and then the last one has got to be the same as the first to complete my development. Now all I need to do is I need to find out what the heights of each of those lines are going to be. And to do that, I can take those height measurements directly from my top view over here by just going and checking what the distance is between the starting point of each point and where it terminates, where it ends. So if I take point A as my first point, I can simply go and measure the distance in my top view between where point A starts and where it terminates, which for me is 20 millimeters. And then I go and take it and I can go and plot that now on point A's line, plot that 20 millimeter point there, and I can go and do the same thing on the other side. Of course, there's another point A, and I can plot that 20 millimeters. Then I go to point B, do the same again. I simply go and measure on point B in our top view, check there, that's 53 millimeters. I go on to point B's line, I take that measurement of 53, and I go and mark it off on point B's line. Then the same with point C, measure point C in the front view. For me, that's 50. So I'll go to point C's line, mark it off there, and then point D's line, go measure point D. Now point D should be the same as point B because they were meant to be directly in line with each other, and point B was 53, so my point D is going to be 53, and I'll mark that off there. Now, once I've got each of those points marked off, because there was no turning point in this top view or in my front view, I can simply go and join each of those dots with a dark line. And just go and join those up. And then once I've got all of those joined up, that's the profile of the top part of my development. I simply need to go and draw in dark lines now for each of the sides. And that then completes the development of my secondary pipe for this question.